Number 10. 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. The Plymouth Barracuda started as an ordinary car, but by 1970 it had turned into something extraordinary: the Cuda, the ultimate muscle car. With its powerful 7.0-liter V8 engine, the 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda packed a punch with 425 horsepower and a hefty 490 pounds per foot of torque. It could hit a top speed of 117 miles per hour and go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.7 seconds, making it a real powerhouse on the road. What made the Hemi Cuda stand out was its unique look. Bright colors and a special shaker hood made it instantly recognizable, earning it a spot as one of the most iconic American muscle cars ever. Its bold design matched its strong power, making it a prized collectible and a symbol of the golden age of muscle cars. The 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda is a legend in car history, celebrated for its blend of power, speed, and iconic style. It represents the peak of performance and coolness, capturing the essence of American muscle cars at their best. The 1970 Barracuda got a major design, ditching all its ties to the Valiant. The original fastback design was dropped, and the lineup now included coupe and convertible models. Styled by Johnny Hurlitz, this new model was built on a shorter, wider version of Chrysler's B platform, called the E-Body. Even though it shared this platform with the Dodge Challenger, no exterior sheet metal was the same between the two. The Challenger had a longer wheelbase at 110 inches and was 5 inches longer overall compared to the Barracuda. The E-Body Barracuda finally shook off its economy car image. For 1970 and 1971, it came in 3 versions: the base Barracuda, the luxury Grand Coupe, and the sporty Cuda. Number 9. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. The 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 holds a special spot in car history. Only 69 were ever made, making it super rare and crazy expensive at auctions. With its sleek design and unique hubcaps, it was the fastest car Chevy ever made. Officially, it was said to have 430 horsepower, but tests showed it was actually a staggering 525 horsepower. Chevy really underrated it. On the track, some ZL1s did quarter miles in the low 11s, showing off their insane speed. Because they're so rare and fast, whenever a 1969 Camaro ZL1 goes up for auction, it sells for big bucks, over $1 million in recent sales, says Haggerty. The Camaro ZL1 isn't just a car, it's a symbol of power, speed, and top-notch car making, earning its place as a legend among muscle cars. The design was similar to the most potent version of the aluminum head L88, but it was the first production Chevy engine with an aluminum block. Though it shared the L88's 430 bhp factory rating, it actually had over 500 bhp, likely making it the most powerful engine Chevy ever offered to the public. And at just 500 pounds, it weighed about the same as Chevy's 327 cubic inch V8. Number 8. 1969.5 Dodge Coronet Super B A12. The Dodge Coronet Super B A12 hit the scene in 1969 halfway through the year, hence the .5 in its name. It was aimed at folks who wanted power without breaking the bank. Underneath, it packed a punch with a 390 horsepower V8 engine, sporting a unique setup of 3 2-barrel carburetors for top-notch performance. Dodge didn't just focus on the engine, they fine-tuned other parts too, making sure this car lived up to its name. The B in Super B likely nods to its B platform body style, while Super hints at the powerhouse under the hood. The 1969.5 Dodge Coronet Super B A12 was the epitome of American muscle cars, blending affordability with thrilling performance. Its standout design and powerful engine secured its place in automotive history. Number 7. 1969 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. When it came to the Pontiac Firebird, the original Trans Am package on the first-generation model truly stands out. Sharing the sleek Coke bottle shape with its sibling, the Chevrolet Camaro, it had a stylish edge. Under the hood, the Firebird Trans Am boasted a powerful 6.6-liter V8 engine, delivering 375 horsepower and 445 pounds per foot of torque. It could hit a top speed of 114 miles per hour and go from 0 to 60 in just 6.4 seconds. Impressive for its time. Originally, the Trans Am was just a handling package, but its popularity earned it a standalone spot in the Firebird lineup's second generation. Even though it's not as famous as later versions, the 1969 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am remains a significant part of car history, known for its performance, style, and iconic design. Number 6. 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. The Boss 429 is a muscle car produced in limited numbers in 1969 and 1970. It was created to homologate Ford's new 429 V8 for NASCAR racing and to offer a big block alternative to the Boss 302 Mustang used in Trans Am racing. Ford had previously made successful high-performance 427 and 428 cubic inch racing engines from older blocks, but wanted to develop one from its newest engine family to challenge Chrysler's powerful but aging 426 Hemi in NASCAR. NASCAR required that at least 500 cars be fitted with this engine and sold to the public, and Ford chose the Mustang as the platform for this highly modified motor. The Boss 429 engine featured 4 bolt main caps, a forged steel crank, 4 steel connecting rods, and aluminum cylinder heads with a semi-hemispherical combustion chamber called the Crescent. It used a dry deck method, meaning the coolant circuit for the block was separate from the cooling circuit for the head. This design strengthened the block by removing the open coolant jackets around the cylinder and reduced hot spots by providing more direct cooling. Each cylinder, oil passage, and water passage had an individual O-ring style seal for a tight fit. Although a head gasket was used, it only sealed the cylinder for combustion, so a failure at one point wouldn't compromise the others. The Boss 429 engine came with a 735 CFM Holley 4-barrel carburetor mounted on an aluminum intake manifold, which was highly efficient for its time. The 1969 models had hydraulic lifters, but in 1970, Ford switched to solid lifters to minimize valve float at high RPMs, even though the power rating stayed the same. The dual exhaust system was also improved in the 1970 models. The Mustang's engine compartment wasn't wide enough for the massive Boss 429 engine, so Ford contracted Carcraft in Dearborn, Michigan to modify 4-speed Cobra Jet Mustangs to fit the engine. Carcraft was an exclusive, experimental facility for Ford's special vehicles. Production of the Boss 429 started in 1968 at the Ford Rouge plant. There, front apron assemblies, revised to fit the large engine, were installed during construction. These assemblies provided a stronger and cleaner front structure, crucial for a performance car, and were paired with reworked front fenders. After initial assembly, the cars were sent to Carcraft's new assembly plant in Brighton, Michigan for engine installation and additional modifications. Number 5. 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS LS6. The 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS LS6 is the epitome of Chevrolet's muscle car legacy. Introduced in 1964, the Chevelle Supersport, or SS, entered the muscle car scene, but it wasn't until later that it truly came into its own. By 1970, the Chevelle had reached its second generation, and the SS model had peaked with the LS6 engine. Under the hood was a mighty 7.4-liter V8, boasting 456 horsepower and 500 pounds per foot of torque. This powerhouse could push the car to a top speed of 134 miles per hour and go from 0 to 60 in just 5.2 seconds. With a 4-speed manual transmission and front-engine rear-wheel drive setup, driving the Chevelle SS was a quintessential muscle car experience. Weighing in at 3,836 pounds, it was equipped with racing upgrades for enhanced handling and performance. The LS6 engine represented the pinnacle of Chevrolet's Chevelle lineup, solidifying its status as a symbol of raw power and American automotive excellence during the muscle car era. Number 4. 1968 Dodge Charger RT. The 1968 Dodge Charger RT is an iconic muscle car symbolizing power and style. With its massive 7.2-liter V8 engine delivering 375 horsepower and 480 pounds per foot of torque, it could reach 142 miles per hour and go from 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds. Famous for its appearances in TV and movies like Dukes of Hazzard and Bullitt, it became a pop culture icon, inspiring car fans for generations. Its blend of speed, power, and Hollywood fame secures its place as one of the coolest muscle cars ever. Number 3. 1965 Ford Shelby Mustang GT350. The 1965 Ford Shelby Mustang GT350 is a legendary collaboration between Carroll Shelby and Ford, embodying automotive excellence. With its sleek design and powerful performance, it set the standard for American muscle cars. Under the hood, it boasted a 4.7-liter V8 engine, delivering 306 horsepower and 329 pounds per foot of torque. It could reach a top speed of 138 miles per hour and sprint from 0 to 60 in 6.6 seconds. While lacking in creature comforts, its demanding nature earned it respect as a track and street icon. Despite enhancements introduced in 1966 for accessibility, it's the uncompromising spirit of the 1965 GT350 that defines its legacy. Its rarity makes it a coveted collector's item worldwide, cherished by enthusiasts for its historic significance and performance prowess. Many early 1965 GT350s had the battery relocated to the trunk, but this was changed mid-year due to complaints about fumes. These cars also featured overrider traction bars, relocated A-arms, and other modifications. The only transmission available was a 4-speed Borg-Warner T10 manual. Dual exhausts exited out the sides via glass-back mufflers, though 14 cars were equipped with rear exiting exhausts to meet state regulations in certain areas. For 1965, the GT350 had special Goodyear Blue Dot tires, rated for 130 miles per hour, named for the prominent blue dot on each sidewall. It also had a full-size spare tire mounted in place of the rear seats, making it a two-seater to qualify as a sports car under SCCA regulations. The car rode on either silver-painted steel wheels or special 15-inch Krager Shelby cast magnesium center trims with chrome center caps marked with a stylized CS. Total production for the 1965 model year was 562 units. Number 2. 1964 Pontiac GTO. The 1964 Pontiac GTO is revered as the pioneer of muscle cars, igniting the golden age of muscle cars in the 60s and 70s. Its formula was simple: a big, potent engine in a lightweight car. This created an automotive legend. With its 6.4-liter V8 engine, the GTO could hit a top speed of 110 miles per hour and sprint from 0 to 60 in just 5.7 seconds, boasting 348 horsepower and 428 pounds-per-foot of torque. Available with manual or automatic transmission, it weighed 3,792 pounds and had a front-engine, rear-wheel drive setup. Originally an option for the Pontiac Le Mans, the GTO soon became its own model. Its striking appearance and powerful performance captivated enthusiasts, surpassing sales expectations with over 30,000 units sold. The 1964 Pontiac GTO not only embraced the muscle car trend, but sparked it, laying the foundation for an era of iconic American muscle cars. Number 1. 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird. The Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird of the 1970s was a standout, boasting a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of under 5 seconds and a Looney Tunes Roadrunner horn, making heads turn wherever it went. Powering this beast was a big V8 engine with twin carburetors, originally rated at 425 horsepower, but pushing closer to 433 horsepower in tests. Its performance was impressive. Car and driver recorded a quarter-mile time of just 13.5 seconds, hitting speeds of 105 miles per hour, comparable to a 1999 Ferrari F355 Berlinetta. Beyond its speed, the Superbird's aerodynamic design, including its iconic rear wing and extended nose, provided stability, especially on NASCAR tracks where it dominated. Yet its unique appearance also made it a hit off the track, earning it a place as a classic among car enthusiasts. The 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird perfectly encapsulates the fun and power of the muscle car era with its playful horn and formidable performance under the hood. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos on classic cars and automotive history. Stay tuned for the next adventure.